In the year 2000, shortly before he was made chairman of Pepsi's North American Food and Beverage Division, Robert S. Morrison publicly declared, "The biggest enemy is tap water." That same year, the president of Pepsi's U.S. Beverages Division declared, "When we're done, tap water will be relegated to showers and washing dishes." Just 30 years ago, most Americans only drank water from the tap. But in these past 3 decades, we have strongly shifted our preference to bottled water, even though bottled water costs up to 10,000 times as much as tap water does. In 2008, Americans drank 8.6 billion gallons of bottled water. 1/3 of Americans drink bottled water regularly, and we are paying private companies a lot of money to bottle it for us. But have we been deceived? A 1999 report from the Natural Resources Defense Council was titled "Bottled Water, Pure Drink or Pure Hype?" In a 1997 article from Britain's The Independent News, bottled water was described as one of the greatest cons of the 20th century, and the chief executive of the Water Companies Association said that bottled water is marketing's answer to the emperor's new clothes. My goal today is to persuade you, my judges, to join the growing campaign to switch Americans back from drinking bottled water to drinking tap water. Today, let's look at the implications of the shift from tap water to bottled water. How did we get started drinking bottled water? Is tap water unhealthy? Does bottled water taste better? Does it come from pure sources? Is it healthier than tap water? And what is the economic and environmental cost of bottled water? So, how did we get started drinking bottled water? In the late 1970s, bottling companies were faced with growing public awareness that soft drinks are unhealthy. The potential of this awareness to reduce their profits stirred these companies to malign tap water and market bottled water. Let's look first at tap water. Is it unhealthy? The Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, is responsible for ensuring that our tap water is safe. It maintains a website which publishes the standards tap water is required to meet. Federal regulations assure us that all the water supplied from municipal treatment meets very high standards, yet the cost is far less than 1 cent per gallon. Treatment plants monitor their water multiple times each day and publish the results annually. And municipal water treatment has an excellent record. Now, what about taste? Does bottled water taste better than tap water? According to the 2010 documentary, The Story of Bottled Water, in taste tests across the country, people consistently chose tap over bottled water. In one striking example, Good Morning America asked a studio audience to compare the taste of bottled water with New York City tap water. The tap water received 45% of the vote, nearly double that of the leading bottled competitor. And even when people have a preference for the taste of bottled water, the differences are often so subtle as to hardly justify the extra cost of bottled water. So does bottled water come from pure sources? The advertising certainly says so. It uses pictures of nature and words like pure, pristine, natural, glacial, and mountain water, leading us to believe that bottled water comes from purer sources than tap water. But the 2008 Conference of United States Mayors reported that 40% of all bottled water is simply filtered tap water. And the 2008 movie Tapped, which documents the deceptive marketing of the bottling industry, suggests that today, as much as 45% of bottled water is filtered tap water. And what about spring water and glacier water? The FDA rules allow bottlers to call their product spring water, even though it may be brought to the surface using a pump well treated with chemicals. And as for glacier water, the Natural Resources Defense Council found that several brands sold as glacier water actually came from groundwater, nowhere near any current glacier. Now, the real test. Is there any guarantee that bottled water is as safe as tap water? The EPA monitors 100% of tap water, while the FDA regulations only apply to the 30% of bottled water which is bottled in a different state from where it is sold. By EPA standards, tap water cannot contain any active E. coli or sewage, but the FDA allows both to be present in bottled water. The EPA requires that groundwater be filtered and disinfected for parasites. The FDA does not require bottled water to be filtered or disinfected for parasites. The EPA regulates many toxic chemicals, such as phthalates in plastic. In contrast, the FDA exempts bottled water from regulations regarding toxins associated with the plastic in which the water is packaged. When the city of Cleveland tested its local tap water against Fiji water, the Fiji water was found to contain more than 6.31 micrograms of arsenic per liter, while Cleveland's tap water had no detectable level of arsenic. As we can see from regulatory differences, there is no guarantee that bottled water is the safest tap water. Even if it was, would it be worth the cost to our wallets? The cheapest bottled water I have found in disposable bottles cost about $1 per gallon. That's 400 times what we pay for tap water. If a family were to drink just 1 gallon of bottled water per day, that would cost $365 per year, where tap water would cost the same family less than $1 for the whole. Certainly you and I have better uses for our money than lining the pockets of the bottling industries. And what about the environmental cost? The Pacific Institute estimates that 17 million barrels of oil are consumed in the U.S. each year to produce the plastic water bottles for bottled water. That alone is enough oil to fuel 1 million cars for a year, without even considering the additional oil consumed in transporting these bottles. According to a 2008 New York Times article, Americans empty and dispose of 50 billion disposable water bottles each year. That's 140 million each day, or 1,500 bottles per second, and only 1 in 5 of these water bottles are recycled. The 2008 Conference of United States Mayors reported that plastic water bottles are one of the fastest growing sources of municipal waste. But what if I like the taste or convenience of disposable water bottles? Reusable bottles are a practical alternative for those who like the convenience of disposable water bottles. And as for those who don't like the taste or distrust the quality of their local tap water, filtration is available at a fraction of the economic and environmental cost of bottled water. In both homes and reusable bottles, such filters are much better value than plastic water bottles. At home, we use a Berkey filter, which reduces or eliminates more than 100 potential water contaminants, yet the cost is far less than 5 cents per gallon. My personal water bottle has a built-in filter to enhance the taste and quality of tap water at less than 7 cents per gallon. Both of these can purify fresh water from any source to exceed EPA standards at 1/10 of the cost of bottled water. To sum this up, I have demonstrated that tap water is far more carefully monitored and far cheaper. Furthermore, there is no guarantee that bottled water is better tasting from pure sources or healthier. In light of this information and the negative impact bottled water has on our finances and the environment, I hope you will join me in the growing campaign to return Americans back to drinking tap water. So let me leave you with these 2 questions. Should the beverage companies be allowed to succeed in relegating tap water to showers and washing dishes? And is tap water the enemy, or is it the bottling companies?